The sports you know and the players you love. This is the Kittitas Valley Sports Show with your host, Ryan Kuhn.
Welcome to the Kittitas Valley Sports Show. My name is Ryan Kuhn, and you are listening to the only podcast that features everything from high school sports to Central Washington athletics to rodeo. We are on episode number 5, and with fall sports practice underway, the Wildcat football team is not the only team that actually is putting in some work. Inside Nicholson Pavilion, the Central Washington volleyball team is looking for its 12th consecutive winning season. The mastermind of that success is joining me today in Central Washington head coach Mario Andaya. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, before we get into everything, a lot of the teams are struggling with the poor air quality. You guys have the luxury to stay inside. So what's your biggest obstacle you guys have to face when it comes to practices?
Well, yeah, we don't have those challenges, of course, but, you know, we do have rules and regulations as far as hours are concerned with the NCAA. So with the facilities right now, we want to be able to share, let the football team or soccer team use the courts if they need to. And so what we want to do is make sure that we're getting in our 5 hours a day, but we have to have 3-hour breaks if we split that up. So the challenge, you know, is just when this stuff kind of happens is us working together, making sure that we're getting our reps in. But at the same time, you know, we want to make sure that we're helping other sports out. Joining
Mario is seniors Madison, Weg, and Shelby Mauritson. Did I say that right, Shelby?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, good. You know, with the air quality, you guys are inside, but are you guys affected at all? Can you feel it, you know, when you get out on the court?
I don't notice it too much, really. I mean, as soon as we step outside of the gym, you notice it, but in the court, no.
Yeah, same for me. I don't notice the air quality inside.
There was, I think last year I did. It was pretty, a couple of years ago it was bad, and I think it got into the gym. But this year it hasn't been too bad yet in the gym, which is good.
Now, Mario, you're in your 21st season?
Hey, good.
21st
but no,
season?
It's not. It's actually going into I think it's 23rd.
With a combined 356 wins, I mean, how did you create all this success? I mean,
well, it was all me. First. No, I'm kidding. Well, no, I think over the years, you know, you're going to accumulate some wins, you know, so I've been pretty blessed to have some pretty good players go through the program, you know, and we have that now. And Shelby and Maddie have been part of a group that's won a lot of ball games and got us to playoffs. So, you know, that stacks up for sure.
Do you put any pressure on yourself because of all the success that you have to do well every year?
There's a little of that, you know, but that's kind of what keeps me going. That's why we compete. That's why I do it. And so it's part of the job for sure. But, you know, we have a certain standard that I'd like to kind of keep going, at least for myself too. You know, I want to make sure that, you know, when we recruit these players, we show them and kind of tell them what our culture is like, and we want to uphold that. So I got to do my part as a leader or a coach to at least give them those guidelines.
What about you guys? When you looked out of high school, when you guys looked at schools, did you look at the success of Central Washington and say, hey, that's where I want to go?
I think for me, I was looking like at a lot of different places, and then it was just kind of out of the whim. I came to the tournament here with my high school volleyball team, and I was like, my mom said, hey, just shoot them an email. So I did, and it all kind of worked out. So it was all super quick for me. I didn't really look too much into like the record and all that. I knew they had a good program, but like that wasn't my main focus. It was more like schooling, do I like the team type of thing.
Now, you guys had a very successful season last year, 19-10 overall, 14-6 conference record. Mario, what do you attribute that success to? I mean, you guys were on a roll, you know, midway through the season, you know, a big win against Anchorage, big win against Northwest Nazarene. What was the key to that success?
I think if we're kind of staying grounded a little bit each week, kind of make sure that we're prepared for whoever we face. You know, it's kind of a cliche, but you got to do it one day at a time type of thing. But if we're focused on what we have to do, then at the end of the day or the whole body of work, hopefully it becomes something that we can be proud of. But, you know, we're gonna get big wins because we're focused on the opponent or what we have to do. So we've kind of created that in our gym, and we're trying to keep that up. And if it works out to be a winning season, then we're happy.
Shelby, what about you guys last year? I mean, you had a lot of success. Did you feel like something was really clicking compared to some of these other, teams you've been on?
I think last year, being my first year as like an upperclassman, I had a little more confidence and kind of one more year under my belt with our setters and stuff, and I think that's what kind of helped me last year. But yeah.
What about you, Madison?
I also think like having a couple years under my belt as well, and just really, I think last year we started to grow as a team more, and even more so this year. We're already growing so much as a team, but I think we're bonding a lot better last year than we might have in years before, which really helped contribute to those wins and getting through tough moments.
Now, you guys lost in a tough 5 sets to Northwest Nazarene in that Western Regional. What do you take away from that, guys? And did it leave a bitter taste in your mouth? Did it give you a spark for this year? What about you, Mario?
Yeah, we kind of left. I thought we left it out there, but we also felt, especially with the returners, that there's some unfinished business. But a lot of things have to happen to get them back in that position, and that's kind of what we're focused on. We got to make sure that we don't look past today, and we don't carry on some of the things that happened in the past. But definitely, you look at that type of thing, and you want to get back there. You want to do a few things, maybe a little bit different. But again, it's going to be. It's just going to be a long haul from there, but we have some unfinished business, and hopefully these girls get back there and get a chance to redeem themselves.
Now this year you lost 2 seniors. One was a big one with 6'3" middle blocker Sabrina Wilhouse. But as a coach, I mean, with that not that much turnover, I mean, you have to feel good that most of your players are coming back.
Yeah, Sab's a big loss for sure. She was kind of our go-to kid as far as stabilizing defensively for us at the net, but we have kids that have been in the gym with her for the last 3-4 years that have played to that level. And so we're, again, Sab's somebody who's going to be a big part of our program history, but, we're really looking forward to the girls that are waiting for their turn, who put in the work, creating their identity and putting their spin off of this year's team.
I was going to say, have you created your team's identity without that height now, or is it a completely different team, or are you taking some of the things from last year and molding it back into it? A
little bit of both. We're still pretty long. We're pretty athletic. We got some high flyers in the gym, and Sab was she touched over 10, but she was 6'3". We got kids touching over 10 right now that are a lot shorter than her, but long. And so we're explosive. I want to say we're still a very solid blocking team, if not a very good blocking team. So time will tell whether or not the same numbers appear, but we're pretty solid in that area. But it's up to the kids. They have to perform, and they've been training well.
Madison, I mean, you had some key blocks last year. I mean, do you put any pressure on yourself now to be that number one middle blocker? And
I put some pressure on myself knowing like I was part of the blocking, with Sabrina and stuff, but at the same time, I know that I'm good at what I do, so if I just go out there and do what I do best, then I know I'll be okay. I know we're like missing Sabrina and all that, but we do have some great people filling in for her, and I think our blocking and defense behind the block is looking great. So,
what about just being a leader in general to this team? I mean, was that something you guys had to really develop over the years, or do you feel like right away, hey, I had success in high school and I'm going to take that over to the Central and be a leader right away?
Mm-hmm. I think for sure, like the first 2 years, kind of knowing my place on the team, and like there's girls that have been there for 4 or 5 years. So like obviously stepping in, I would play my role. I know coming in, I was kind of more of the happy-go-lucky, cheery person. I'm still kind of continuing that over, but more into this next year is just kind of getting more into the game with more intent and focus, and trying to bring the whole team in as a leader, but still keeping that positive side and encouraging each other to like build each other up and rise above. That's kind of our motto, to rise up. So yeah.
Mario, where did this motto come from, rise up? Is this No,
they actually came up with it. and it's really kind of cool to almost hand the keys over this year to some of the seniors and even juniors have had a lot of experience, but they came up with this. We had a team retreat the last few days. We actually went camping with tents and stuff, and they actually came up with that. And so I'm glad they're putting into practice, but there's a lot of different angles to that too that we talk about. And but no, it's all them.
What, the athletic director? They can't get you guys a RV or anything? Come on, you can wrap it in some CWU like logos. And
we went from like a luxury house on the cab or on the lake last year to some tents on dirt. So it was actually a really good experience, though.
You know what? Let's shift over that, because that was actually going to be my last question. What do you guys do for fun? Apparently, it's camping. So. Was this a good bonding experience for you girls, or?
Yeah, I definitely thought it was a really good bonding experience. I mean, camping, there's not a lot to do besides kind of sit around a fire and stare at each other. But I think we had a lot of good opportunities to talk about really important things that we needed to talk about and people needed to get off their chest or whatever. And I think that was a really good experience that we had, and we learned a lot about each other, and I think that's going to help us a lot on the court.
Shelby, you're a senior this year. What's your mindset going into this? I mean, are you kind of sad it's coming to an end? Are you excited that, hey, this is my last chance to shine? What's your mindset going
on? My mindset is, like Mario says, like take one day at a time and try to work on something every day to get better at. I am sad that it's coming to an end, but I'm excited to see where our team can go this year and hopefully pass up all the things that have happened in past years. I want to do better than we have, and I really think we can do really well this year. So
I was looking at some stats before you guys got here, and Mario, Shelby she's improved every year. What do you attribute that to? I mean, it was definitely hard work, but it has to feel good as a coach to see someone like that improve every year, and now last year moving to being your team's leading kills leader.
Yeah, it's all hard work, and it's a mindset that you have to actually learn. We talk about learned behavior, and Shelby's a person that has really taught herself to act a certain way, to work a certain way, like any athlete should. And so, she got a lot of playing time her freshman year, coming in with a class that was pretty established. And now she's kind of taken over the role of not only leader by example, but leader mentally too. I mean, you've got to be able to handle pressure. You've got to be able to put yourself in a high pressure situation and focus on the job, the process. And she's done that, and people really take notice to that, and the freshmen are really latching onto that type of training. So it's a tribute to her for sure.
Now, you guys were both selected as the in the GNAC preseason all conference team. What does that mean to you guys, that the conference and all these coaches know that you guys are two girls they need to watch out for?
Honestly, I didn't know about it until a couple, or whenever it came out. My friends were like, "Hey, you made the preseason, whatever." I was like, "Oh, cool!" That's pretty cool. But I mean, yeah, I guess it means that the teams will be looking out for you. But at the same time, you can't really let that get to your head. If anything, it makes me want to play better than I ever have before, knowing that I'll have that target on my back. So,
yeah, for sure. My goals aren't to be noticed by other people. My goals are my own goals, and people on my team to maybe notice. But it's very humbling, and it's an awesome recognition. But like Maddie said, that's just another target on our back. We have to play even better now that that's something that we got awarded.
Mario, talk to me about some of those other players and those younger players. I mean, you have a lot of freshmen that redshirted last year, and are they going to be an impact this year?
Yeah, they're training really well right now. We got some young players that maybe have some experience, like Michaela Swart. She came in and actually started the playoff game for us, and her true freshman year, she had a big learning curve, and she's really established herself as somebody that can carry a big load. But as far as some of the red shirts that we've had in the past, Julia Melander, who's redshirted, she's trying to, be a factor in the middle. We have some really good passing and defensive kids that are trying to make sure that we're better in that area, which is going to be huge. So there's a lot of kids that are contributing right now, but we have some red shirt, if you would, like senior juniors that have been in the program and really haven't even reached their potential yet. Sarah Joffs is coming back for another year, her 5th year. Bridget Webb, who was a red shirt, also is coming into her junior year. And these girls have a lot of experience, but are really establishing themselves as somebody who can have a breakout season, a breakout game, and carry us to hopefully another level.
You guys start your season on Monday with an exhibition down at Portland State. Why would you ask for this game right away?
Well, it's going to be a challenge for us, but that's the way our region is. I mean, you get to the West Region tournament, you face teams like Portland State. And Portland State is a Division I program. I get it. And, from top to bottom, they'll probably have a higher skill level and some more dynamic athletes. But at the same time, I think our first-tier kids are as good as their first-tier kids. And if we can match up with them and keep everybody on board and playing at that level early, then maybe we can come out and establish ourselves at a higher standard than we have if we maybe didn't play somebody like this and then build on from there.
Guys, what about you? You being your senior year, do you have a specific goal in mind? I'm not trying to be cliche, but conference championship, GNAC, championship and all that. But what are you guys' goals?
Well, let's see here. I think for us, it's really just playing to the best of our ability. For sure, like GNAC champs, all that kind of stuff, But I think for our team this year, it's just really to build each other up and just really know that we finished the season giving all we could, leaving it all out on the court. And, I would say that's one of our main goals as a team.
We at the retreat, actually, we talked a lot about trust. We kind of go over that like every week. Everyone needs to trust each other and their own abilities. And I think that working on the trust part every single week is just like one of our main goals too, is to like in the season where we all trusted each other, we all like laid it all out there, and like win or lose, like we don't leave with a bad taste in our mouth, like we did the best we could and everyone, trusted each other.
Wildcats start their season on Monday when they face the Portland State, but then you guys come home. That has to feel good for a 3-game, I want to say a mini tournament or maybe a showcase you would call it, against some of these Western Conference teams. You got to be excited, Mario, for another season of volleyball.
Oh, I'm fired up. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, after, the season ended last year, we already our wheels were turning a little bit, figuring out how we can really get a jump start on the year, and it's finally here. So this is my maybe 23rd first start of a season. So, and I can't be any more excited.
And see, and I know you were trying to give me a bad time at the end. I appreciate that. And we'll end with that. That was another episode of the Kittitas Valley Sports Show. My name is Ryan Kuhn, and remember, set your goals high and don't stop till you get there. Goodbye, everybody.